My view is that at the heart of a psychotherapy interaction is one person, typically the client, engaging in something very vulnerable, talking about intimate and vulnerable details of his or her life. And the therapist is responding to that vulnerability in some way, according to their theoretical orientation and their skills, to try to help the client. And fundamentally, across disciplines, we have this vulnerability and responsiveness interaction between two people. And that actually is at the heart of every intimate interaction in life, not just therapy. And so what we do in FAP and in these workshops is explore that in detail. How can we maximize that? How can we really understand and work in that framework? And we practice that with each other, and we have concrete skills that we apply, and we apply it to specific clients, no matter what their presenting problem is.
Sounds great.
One of the things that, Benji, one of the things I'm also really interested in recently, which I don't know if this can show up at the workshop, is working across differences, cultural, ethnic differences. We've got a bunch of things going on in my lab related to the current political climate in the United States, which of course is infecting the whole world. And how do we work with these differences? How do we work with racial differences? How can we connect across racial and ethnic lines really deeply? How can we connect across political lines really deeply? How can we bring, in the United States, Republicans and Democrats together and connect in that way? And I think a lot of those lessons show up in therapy as well.
How do they show up in therapy?
There are two people working together who have different identities, and it's like in this case with you and I speaking, we have to each other, we have so much in common. We're both white men. We've talked a lot about our pasts, so I know we both have similar histories. It's really easy for you and I to talk and to connect because we have so much in common and we understand each other so much. But it's very rare when you are going to have this much in common with a client. There's always going to be differences, and how do you handle those differences? And sometimes the differences can cause real trouble. So exploring and being aware of and sensitive to and working in the context of those differences and really trying to connect deeply, I think is important to maximizing the outcomes in the relationship.